and now we live under their rulership.
Yeah, I mean, what about these?
These images right here.
The hieroglyphics.
Let me get one more precept real quick,
Yeah,
and then we'll answer that.
I'll explain it.
This is
guys
that
think
that
about
ties
this?
perfectly in with that.
Donald Trump is a devil.
This is Proverbs 23:10. Remove not the old landmark, and enter not into the fields of the fatherless. And that's what they did. They went into and removed an old landmark from the people who were here and put their faces upon mountains. For their
it was actually a direct, pretty much, look what we did to your people in disrespect type of
So you
way.
think it was intentional?
It was intentional. It's not that I think it was intentional.
That's why it's in South Dakota.
It was done as a we conquered the Sioux, because the Sioux actually gave the Edomites the majority of the problems when they got here, as well as tribes like the Seminoles, which you saw. If you know anything about history, you know what happened to them.
Yeah, well, I'm not like disagreeing with you whatsoever, but when we did go, we read a little bit about like took some land and like made it so you cannot touch this. This is a
Right.
national park.
Which I understand what you're saying.
I just read about that. Yeah.
Exactly, it's
Okay.
not his land to give in the first place.
Gotcha.
That's like me, taking your sunglasses from you and then
Yeah.
turning around and be like, nobody can wear
To be
these
honest, like,
sunglasses,
we've never really, like,
but you can wear
thought
them
about
every
it
now
like that,
and then.
you know,
You know what I'm
like,
saying?
like, oh, this is beautiful. Now we're standing here listening to what you guys have to say, and like,
That's what we're here to do. We're out here to let you know
Yeah.
that this is what happened, and as long as you're willing to recognize that, that's the most important part. And recognize who the Lord's children are.
Because we do get people that they come up and they just don't want to acknowledge the truth. They want to take it in as, okay, well, you guys are you're just spewing hate. Nah, man, we're not out here to spew hate. We're out here to tell the truth, because nobody will do it. And the Bible is a book about truth. And if you really get deep into this book, everything that comes out of it is more or less true. It's the greatest historical book that was ever written. You can go all the way back to the beginning of man to what's generally going on right now, which is really what we were bringing out right before you guys kind of came up with it.
Do you guys mind if we?
Go ahead.
No, we don't mind. Go ahead and do what you got to do. We're on camera anyway. We're on YouTube. Go ahead.
It says, for their Redeemer is mighty, he shall plead their cause with thee. So it's basically a warning
Right.
that if you go out and do this, then the Lord's people, who are these people on this sign, their Redeemer is mighty. And that you reap what you sow.
Which the Bible also says, reap. You're going to reap what you sow. It may take generation after generation after generation, but does the Bible not read that the sins of the father will always fall upon the son? Now that son could be 600 years removed from you, but you'll still be the one who has to pay for that, which is really how the whole biblical story plays out. Because there was people who decided they were going to commit a horrible crime, and all throughout history they've continued and kept that crime up, and then they lied to the entire world about who they were doing this crime to. Stole their history, put another people up as theirs, stole their land, gave their land away, and even in America that happened to the natives and the other tribes that are here in Mexico and all those other, because half of America was actually part of Mexico. A lot of people don't even remember that. Nowadays,
Colorado
if you were going to, Colorado was
So the
part
word
of Mexico.
Colorado is actually Color
Utah,
Rojo.
California, all of that.
there's a lot of Spanish here.
Yeah, well, we used to be part of Mexico.
And you know what the word Spanish actually means is someone from Spain. So they put all these. I know you didn't know that, but they put all these words on these people, basically mixing them up. We're not Islam.
Right.
Basically mixing them up and
not
not
Islam.
letting them know who they are. Just like a so-called black man, they call them black. Well, that's not a nationality. African, they're not African.
That's a
So you actually have shades of brown, from dark brown, and you have shades of red, from very cherry dark red to pale pink. All right, kind of like how your nose is very red right now, or this gentleman here, or your nose isn't too red, but her nose is a little red. You're either a shade of pink, all right, or red, or you're a shade of brown from any complexion, my complexion to this brother's complexion to the brother on the end's complexion to darker than that. And those are the only colors you have. So in all reality, you couldn't even be white. The gentleman wearing the Landeskog jersey on the other side over here, or this brother's garment, this is white.
Yeah.
Nobody on earth is this color. So for someone to say, oh, I'm white, that's blasphemy. You ain't white, you're red or you're pink. And that's it. or this brother's complexion, he has red or pale complexion as well.
If you could say like one motivational, like maybe in a couple sentences to our generation.
I'll get it.
Prepare for slaughter.
Let me get it.
Get it biblically, yeah. I will,
Yeah,
no
Something
problem.
very powerful.
Revelations 13:9.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
Explain the
well,
patience too. Explain the patience too.
Can I break it down?
This is Revelations chapter 13 and verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Okay, so that's what the scriptures are saying. Like, you're supposed to stop by and see what's going on. A lot of people are walking by, so you have an ear to hear. So let's explain. Go ahead.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
If you look at that sign very closely, you'll see that certain people, the Lord's children, went into slavery.
Yep.
Went into hardcore bondage. That's not just talking about the so-called Negroes, it's talking about all the tribes. The Latinos and the Native Americans, they went into a form of slavery.
hardcore bondage,
That's
which
how you-
only ever happened to the nation of Israel, the
Right.
true nation of Israel. Because the Bible describes in Deuteronomy that that's going to happen. Now,
Transatlantic slave trade is in there.
right, diaspora, diaspora. Diaspora. There you go.
Right.
That's the word I was trying to spit out. Diaspora being the separation of all the 12 tribes, the breaking down of every nation of Israel. They were all these people suffer subjugation no matter where they are in the world. All right, it doesn't matter if I go to West Germany, East Germany, China, Japan. I go to Europe, wherever I go, I'm still going to be under the curses of the fact that I belong to the nation of Israel. My forefathers were Israelites. They went against the Lord and we took our punishment, which is what that really truly that slavery was a punishment.
And that's how you know that the so-called Jews in Israel right now, the Israeli state, those cannot be the Jews. That's why you came up, you asked what are we doing here? That's what we're doing, because you have people in Israel right now saying they're the Jews, the Lord's children, but they do not feel any of these prophecies that they say they claimed in the book.
And just to kind of jump on the point that you just made, when the Bible speaks that when the real Jews go back to Israel, which in their case, for the Ashkenazi Jews or what would you call them, the Khazarian Jews that are in Israel now, or Amalek that are in Israel now, they actually they were given that land in 1948. And the day that they got that, the Bible speaks of when they go home, there'll be peace throughout the world. When the real Jews go home to their land, there'll be peace throughout the whole world. The very day they were given that land, they were airstruck by actually gunfire erupted first all over the city. Arabs who actually lived there, they were like, hell no. Okay, hell no.
And
The
the
Jews,
Egyptians.
right? And the Egyptians actually airstruck the city of Tel Aviv.
The president of
That
Egypt
day.
actually said, "How do you leave black and come back white?"
Correct.
Exactly.
And that actually used to be, it was on YouTube for years, but I haven't been able to find it for the last 5 years. But it was on YouTube for years, him making that statement. Said, how did you leave here and you were dark-skinned people and you came back with blonde hair and blue eyes? You ain't, which is why there's no peace there. Because in all honesty, the land doesn't belong to the Palestinians either. But they just know that the people who are there, they most definitely don't belong. Which is why there's forever and always going to be fighting, as long as they are there. Go ahead and continue, brother.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Now, a sword is anything that's considered a sword is a modern day weapon. All right, when the Bible speaks on the sword, that was the time. You got to always remember when you deal with the Bible that they were dealing with the things of their time when they were writing. So they actually saw things that we see today, and the only way they could describe them was with the words that they knew, basically. So when he speaks on having a sword, and that if you're carrying a sword now, you're basically carrying an M16 or an M4 rifle. That's the same thing as a sword, or an AK-47. It's all the same. An instrument to kill. That's what sword actually breaks down to. Go ahead, man.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Correct. Meaning that the patience, we're waiting on the Lord to come back, because the scriptures speak on him coming back during the time period when all these things are going on. All right, continue, brother.
Oh, that was it.
Okay, come. Well, basically, what he was saying, that's our message. We're out here because we're waiting on the Lord to come back, because he says that in the last days that these people are going to wake up out of nowhere and discover who they are. All right, it's 2017, and you probably ain't ran into nobody talking about, hey, I'm from the tribe of Judah, or I'm from the tribe of Benjamin. I ain't no Negro. I ain't no Jamaican. You know what I'm saying? Those are names that were given to us in bondage. to hide the fact that we were the children of Israel. And I'm not sitting here telling you that that's not possible for y'all, because clearly it's possible for a lot of people. It just depends on your forefather. It's not all about color. That's what people being lost in this world. You can have whatever color. You can live Chinese and still be an Israelite. All right, so you don't have nothing to do with color. It's about the spirit. And if you can deal with it, if you can accept this, you can accept the word of Yahweh Shem Shai, which is the Lord's name and it's explained in Hebrew. Amen. We need you to chill out.
Come on.
Go ahead. Where you done? Yeah. That's all I really got to say.
I'm gonna break it down too, Baba Shah.
Go ahead.
This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 7. It says, "Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times?" So this prophet's asking, when is the end of the world going to be? Basically, he says, or when shall the end of the first and the beginning of that which followeth? All right, because the end of the world is not actually the end of everything. Because if you read the scripture in its entirety, you know that it began and the Lord chose Israel as a people. They started sinning against him, so he cast them off completely. All right, so that led them into captivities, over and over and over, and then they had all the way up to Antiochus Epiphanes, who were the Greeks, and they were destroying them. They destroyed the temple. They're making them.
Which one of these has the captivities on the back?
Yeah. We flipped this one over.
Flip one of them over, please. Is it this one?
Yep.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, so those are the
Those
captivities.
are the captivities that we've had to go through.
And all the way up to Rome.
That's
the book
not
of
including
Revelation,
Egypt, though.
The book
not
of
including Egypt.
the book of Revelation tells you that the beast was wounded being Rome, but yet